Yo, what's up guys, my name's Hakiii and we went over the best HSW vehicles before. Now we're going to talk about the best non-HSW vehicles you can get, and you might be surprised by some of these. So we're going to start off with a relatively surprising option, at least telling by how it looks. You wouldn't really think it's a super fast vehicle or anything, but we have the BF Weevil Custom. It holds one of the fastest top speeds in the entire game. Acceleration by no means is great or anything, but when it comes to getting some speed on the highway, it could definitely start going really quick. And so this is actually a Benny's upgradable vehicle. It does have custom in the name. You can make this thing look super unique. I mean, it already looks very funky, and there's some really cool customization options. Interesting looking spoilers you can put on this thing. This is a very unique shape. I've never seen a vehicle with this many sunstrip options, so that's pretty unique right there. Some roof options. There's a bunch of different accessories you can put on the top. The roof spikes actually fit this thing pretty well, I'm not gonna lie, but you can go for some bags and some tires. You can put on a surfboard with different styles on it. Actually, a lot of different surfboards. This is actually super sick. I absolutely love surfboards on vehicles. Absolutely love the roof options. Do we have anything else in here? Some ornaments you can put on the hood. Definitely a surprisingly cool vehicle, the BF Weevil Custom. Let's move on to the next one. A really cool sports car that doesn't really get much attention is the Corsa. It's one of the better looking sports cars in the game, I would say. Of course, it is not HSW upgradable, but it still handles and actually has some great speed for a non-HSW car. Again, some great customization with this one, just like with the BF Weevil Custom, but of course it's not really a Benny's vehicle. And so I would buy this vehicle mainly for the looks of it, but also for some very solid performance. For a $1.8 million price tag, this thing has a good amount to offer, and I think that's actually a relatively okay price. Another fantastic sports car has to be the Itali GTO. This is probably my favorite sports car in the entire game. It's an absolute beast when it comes to sports car races, so if you're playing a non-HSW race, I highly recommend using this one, the Itali GTO. It's got a great balance of both great traction, great speed, decent acceleration. I will say some people would prefer the Pariah over the Itali GTO, but I'm not on the same boat. I do prefer the GTO. It's got some better handling, a little less good top speed, but I do think it's worth it for turning way better. And you can find it in the Legendary Motorsport website for about $1.95 million. Not too bad of a price, but definitely a bit expensive. I feel like under $2 million for this one is somewhat reasonable. Moving on to yet another sports car, and you might say, Hakiii, the Banshee GTS is actually an HSW upgradable car and it holds the fastest top speed in the entire game, no? Well, you are actually right, but you can actually get this one and just not upgrade it into HSW. So the regular version of the Banshee GTS is also going to be included on this list because you don't actually have to upgrade it in the first place. Without upgrading it into HSW, you can still get to a top speed of over 130 miles per hour, which is pretty freaking fast. I don't know why someone would buy this car and just not get it for HSW. Maybe you don't have enough money, but otherwise you probably want to upgrade it into HSW. And since it is really fast without HSW still, I thought I would include it on this list. Then we have one of the more futuristic and sleek looking supercars in the game, the Terrarero XO. The ultimate futuristic looking supercar, but with a pretty retro feature with the pop-up headlights. You just don't really get that with futuristic cars nowadays. It does hold a great top speed, and considering you don't have to spend like an extra $1.5 million on an HSW upgrade, it's much cheaper than your typical HSW car. $2.9 million price tag with a little bit of customization, it's not too bad. Otherwise spending about $3.5 to $4.5 million on an HSW upgraded vehicle. Another option you have is going in the Warstock website and getting the Coupe D10 Pursuit. As a disclaimer, this is like by far the most expensive car on this list, so only if you have a lot of money get this one. I mean, buy it now of $5.6 million, trade price of $4.2, so it is really expensive, mainly because it's based off an existing sports car we already have in the game. Combine that with other police cars that are already just extremely expensive. Like, police cars in general are super expensive. It has a really good top speed, and if you're looking for a fast police vehicle, this is one of the best, if not the best out there. Then another member of the Itali family, the Itali RSX. This actually holds one of the fastest top speeds for non-HSWs. Overall, I really like the look of this car, but I will say it does become a little bit uncontrollable once going at a really high speed. So if you go on the highway and you try to start navigating turns with it, it might become a little bit of a challenge. And unfortunately, the price of it being $2.6 million doesn't really help its case. So only if you have a lot of money get this one. Otherwise, there's probably better options. options, I would go for the Itali GTO over this one, but still another decent option. These are in no particular order, by the way, just general fastest and best overall cars to get that are not HSW. The next one is going to be the Itali GTO Stinger TT, the big brother version of the regular Itali GTO. Now this is the same case as with the Banshee GTS. It is actually HSW upgradable, but you don't have to upgrade it into HSW. It's actually one of the fastest out there for non-HSWs without the upgrade. Now same thing I mentioned with the Itali RSX, when you start getting some good speed with this thing, it's going to become very uncontrollable. Like this one's definitely a lot worse than the Itali RSX. It becomes very, very slippery once you start getting some speed, so only for more experienced drivers, I would say. Let's try to drift into this tunnel if I can, and that wasn't actually too bad, I'm not gonna lie. A little bit better priced than the Itali RSX. This one comes in at just under 2.4 million bucks without the HSW upgrade, of course, so we don't really have to worry about that in this video. And if you want to put the missile lock-on jammer, it's actually one of the few vehicles that's both HSW and Demani Tech upgradable. Next one is a supercar that's been around for a while at the top of the list for the best performing / fastest supercars out there. That's the Devast D8. Very unique looking car that's actually a lot of fun to drive around. It's got some really good traction, great speed, and one of the better options for races without HSW for supercars. I would say alongside like the Krieger and whatever else. Alongside the Itali GTO, this definitely feels like one of the more controllable cars on this list, unlike let's say the Itali GTO Stinger TT or the Itali RSX. And for $1.8 million, that's actually a decent price tag for what is a really good performing supercar, not a sports car. Generally, supercars are a bit more expensive than sports cars, so 1.8 million, definitely not too bad. Then the Entity MT coming in at $2.35 million. Like the Stinger TT and the Banshee GTS, it is HSW upgradable, but if you don't upgrade it, it's still gonna be a pretty freaking fast car. I actually customized this one with no roof, and overall very unique looking vehicle. I like it. I do like the different engine styles you have with this thing. So you have singles, you have doubles, you have quadruples, some hood options, which is nice. You got some liveries, nice customization with this one. And if you don't like the no roof option, you can just put the regular roof back on it if you want. It looks cool either way, it's really up to you. So great customization and decent overall vehicle. Even without the HSW upgrade, it's still gonna have over a 130 mph top speed, which is very good. It's probably amongst the top 10 best supercars in the game for racing, maybe alongside the Devast D8 that we mentioned earlier and also the Krieger. And so if for whatever reason you wanted to get this car and not take the time to put HSW on it, it's also a good option. Leave a like if you enjoyed this one, subscribe if you're new to the channel for more awesome videos like these that you don't want to miss, and click the video on screen now to keep watching. I hope you all enjoy that one, and peace.